out here in this YouTube world, you either learn to survive or you survive. No, I can't. Just cut it. Just cut it. I can't. This hat's too fucking small. It's too fucking small. I could see it in the monitor. Don't tell me there's no monitor. Where's the fucking prop guy? Ah! Get me a bigger fucking hat. No. My head's not too big. The hat's too fucking small. Get that fucking away from me. Get it! Oh, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Welcome to Room 666. Today we'll be reviewing Wind River, the directorial debut from Taylor Sheridan. The film stars Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen, Graham Greene, and Gail Birmingham. After a young girl is found murdered, an FBI agent teams up with the local game tracker in order to solve the murder. And then they take a dip in the river, the Wind River. Wind River. Taylor Sheridan, he wrote Sicario, he wrote Hell and High Water, he also wrote this, and this is his first time directing a film. I like those other films a lot better. I didn't enjoy this one as much as I thought I was going to, and I think a lot of it has to do with his direction. The film starts off kind of wanting to be, it felt like it was trying to be Sicario in a lot of ways. It was trying to kind of go off Denis Villeneuve's kind of like really quiet, kind of that sort of mood that has, it's like a dreadful mood throughout, but then it sort of switches it up a little bit once it kind of gets going. And it didn't really have a certain type of tone. At some points it felt like a movie that, you might have seen, in the 90s sometime, like starring with like Christian Slater or like, and Samantha Mathis or like Bruce Willis and Sarah Jessica Parker, or like Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts. That just seems, there were certain times that it felt like that kind of movie, which is not a bad thing. I enjoy those types of movies, and it's well done. It's obviously done better than a movie from the 90s. But I really wish that he would have kind of stuck with the tone, but he didn't. And so this movie could have been great, and it was just good. But for his first time, it's not bad, and it's not bad at all. He actually is, I think, a pretty solid writer in terms of doing these sort of simple, straightforward little stories that don't really have a lot to them. They're more really character studies, but they also have a story that kind of follows through. I just wish, he had figured out his style and tone and kept with it. But he got a lot of good stuff out of his actors. And, I think he had a basic theme in the whole thing, which was that, when you're stuck in that place, which is Wyoming, where it's just basically freezing and there's nothing to do, you're basically just going to either have to survive or you're going to let it kill you, which is just, let it, turn you bad, do drugs. And I think he got that theme through pretty well with the film. I wish he would have kind of cut the ending maybe a little bit. I think it could have been a little bit shorter. That's a gripe I have with it. But overall, good job, Taylor Sheridan. I think you did a great job. We're going to talk about Jeremy Renner. That's right, Hawkeye. He's in this, the most useless Avenger. He is the game tracker. Basically, he kills animals for the people that live on the reservation that hunt and kill their livestock. And basically he plays the role with somebody who is kind of living with the burden, like living with this thing that is just kind of making him depressed and just making him sad all the time because he's very stoic and he just looks angry. But Jeremy Renner's a great actor. I love everything he's in. He always elevates his roles, and he's good in this. He does a very good job in this because of how he is able to do a lot with his face and really show that burden that the character has. And there's also something that is in the story that he goes through that isn't really a spoiler or anything, but I'll just let you experience it when you watch it. But he's kind of also carrying his own sort of sadness, and Jeremy Renner does a great job of displaying that throughout the whole film. So, good job, Hawkeye. Elizabeth Olsen is in this film. She plays an FBI agent. She's one of the better Olsen sisters. She's one of the best actresses working today, I think. You can tell she wants to always try to take interesting roles. And I wouldn't say that this is an interesting role. It's sort of, it's really just a basic movie trope, FBI agent, in over her head, cliche They're all just kind of there, you know. She just sort of does. She follows all those beats that happen, but she's such a good actress that she elevates that material. It makes it better than it probably would have been with someone who, you know, wouldn't have been able to bring the emotion and different things that she does to that role, because it is just sort of generic. It's like I said, it's a role that could have just been played by anybody, but I'm glad that it was her because she elevated it. She's a great actress. I came for the Renner, stood for the green, baby. That's right. Graham Greene is in this. You know him, you love him, you'll recognize him as soon as you see him. He does great in this. All the small parts are good in it. You have people like Kelsey Asbilly, I believe, who plays the girl who was murdered. She does a great job in the small part that she's in. You have people like Gil Birmingham, who was in Hell and High Water. He's also great in the small part that he's in. And then there's even a cameo from The Punisher, from Jon Bernthal. And he's not in it that much, but, you know, anytime he shows up is a good thing. He always makes those little parts feel real. You know, he feels like he's a real guy. So everyone in it does a really good job. In conclusion, Wind River is a good film. It's a well done murder mystery. I wouldn't say run out and see it, but if you can and you get a chance and it's playing near you, I would say definitely check it out. If you don't get a chance to check it out in theaters, definitely rent it. It'll definitely be worth it if it's on Netflix or something. It's just one of those kind of straightforward, easy to watch murder mysteries. There's no crazy twist. You can just sit back and sort of enjoy it, and it's well done, well acted. It was missing something for me. I would maybe have liked to see maybe a different director take it on, but it's definitely a great first feature. It's not going to end up in my top 10 or anything. It's not going to be one of my favorite films of the year, but, you know, it was definitely good. Check it out if you can. Wind River. I need a bigger hat. Give me a fucking bigger hat. We're not filming this anymore. We're not filming this. This is a fucking serious fucking movie, Wind River is.